What is up, YouTube? This is JR Juggernaut 1. It's going to be a weekly topic discussion for this week. Might do another one of these later in the weekend, but this is what I'm going to talk about for now. Let's talk about the TechGenius engine. Something I wanted to talk about in an Alter Reality Games article I was going to write for their holiday article contest. Didn't get to it, whatever happens. But this is a better topic to be discussed in a video anyway. So let's talk about this deck, this archetype per se. This archetype wasn't receiving much love. I mean, you had some people splashing some TechGenius monsters in like a few decks like Junk Doppel, but it wasn't really seeing much play like when Extreme Victory first came out. Then Nationals comes along, and I think it definitely helped that National comes along, and the surprise factor of this deck definitely helped, but I think a big factor was that we just weren't ready for it. I think the real big game changer was that this deck just had a great plant matchup, but it also had a fairly good matchup against a lot of different decks. I think the only deck I remember, if I remember correctly, that this deck had a bad matchup against was Sixam because of its ability, because of the fact that they had Xian, and you really had to force the negation before you could attack. And in addition, unless they were attacking, they couldn't. If they attacked with Xian, even if they had a horn, the best thing they could do was suicide, unless they had something bigger than a reborn Tengu like Barbaros, which not everybody even ran. So, yeah. But the deck went out because really it was a good control deck / power deck. It could make big plays, which was definitely huge. Control decks that could make big plays really didn't stand a chance. That's why I think Stun was a bad deck for Nationals, just like traditional Stun, because it wasn't fast enough to deal with all these cards. Even if you could just set a bunch of back row, not really have to worry about Heavy Storm, I still think, it was a problem. But I think the real reason I talk about it is that the deck is, how do I put it? I guess the reason I don't, the point is though, it's still good though. After Nationals, I started to really fall in love with not TG stuff, but just the TechGenius archetype, trying to fit it into whatever deck I played. I started with a TG Destiny Hero deck. I called it TG TechGenius of Destiny, which basically turned into, which was supposed to be like a deck that Dubk Dad had made, but it more or less turned into a TechGenius deck that ran the Destiny Heroes, 2 effect failures and PLS. It was pretty funny. But there were a lot of TGs in that deck, so that's the other thing. But then I moved on to TG Zero, and then TG Agents. So yeah, I mean, there was also the Tengu Hero deck I was running. That was one other deck. But regardless, for the most part, I was very much like the TG engine. When I say TG engine, I'm really talking about two to three of each of these, and then one of this. And the reason I like it is just because has a lot of versatility to it. You can set the monsters to just get the plus, the search, just to recuperate for one turn. Or you can, make big pushes with them, which also very good. I mean, but the reason I really want to talk about this was more the fact that it's, in some ways I like this better than the Tour Guide engine. So just following up on that, so I think what I've seen with this is that some decks, this kind of engine is actually better than running the Tour Guides, because just the type of synergy it has with the deck. The problem I have with Tour Guide is it can be a very good play, because you're able to go Tour Guide, and you can go for something like Zenmaines, something like Levier, or you can go into, when we get this, the 3000 attack rank 3 Acid Golem. That is definitely huge, but I mean, it's still, you're wasting your normal summon. Valor makes that thing useless. it's problematic to say the least. The TG engine, it's not hurt by Valor. You could do more things with this. It's just really good. There's not much to say about it. I mean, Wonder Magician, in my opinion, is also very good. Like, you can blow something up, and if they bottomless, okay, you still draw a card. Great, because Wonder Magician doesn't have to go to grave. Rush Rhino, Beater to deal with like, this card deal is very good, I realized, especially in TG Agents. It's very good in the bad matchups. It's very good when you don't really have, like, a TG monster. Like, when you don't really have much use for Striker or Werewolf. Sure, you're only going to run one, so there isn't as much you can do with it, but I still like it a lot. And I wouldn't run two, probably, because I don't think I will draw this enough where I'll want to normal summon, where I want to waste my normal summon on it, so that's the real problem. And yeah, there's just all these different plays I can make with these cards. But I'm not talking just about agents. I'm talking about, like, gadgets. If you're running offering gadgets, Striker, followed by Gadget Barkion can set up an OTK for you, so that's really important. Just the fact that you can go, one of other decks was, like, talking about before, wind-ups, so you can gather more field presence. There's like, you can look it up. There's a bunch of decks in the OCG that I could use as examples. There was a TG Chaos deck I once saw that was pretty cool, which was more like, it's kind of like Light Swarm mixed with TGs in a way. I just don't think it ran the Judgment Dragons. That was the only thing. But regardless, it's cool. It's a cool deck. But I'm also talking about the reason, like, when you think about it, the TGs, they let you do, like, other things. Okay, on one hand, you can't go for, like, the immediate Sangan play, which can be very useful, obviously, but let's look at TG Agents, for example. What does having the Tech Genius engine as opposed to the Tour Guide engine do? Well, for one thing, it lets you make more use out of Duality. Duality becomes less of a dead card. Some Tour Guide agent decks run 3 of this, which can be seen by Nikki Lakai's deck, as well as the agent deck that top 8'd at YCS Columbus. But there's still going to be more instances where that card is dead because of all the cards you're special summoning. With Duality in TG Agents, you can go Duality and set something in addition to the plays you normally do. It really works. But the other card is also obvious. Another card you can play when you play Duality. Creature Swap. Creature Swap is one of my favorite cards in this deck, and I said it before. On one hand, you could play more traps in TG Agents than what I play, but then you'd have to get rid of this card, and I just can't because it's too freaking good. Creature Swap is one of the best cards in the deck because you can just turn any bad situation into a good one without even having to use your normal, without even having to special summon. Against some matchups it's not that good, but it's still very good. I mean, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. I think my bottom line is, when you can make better use out of these cards, like, Duality just brings more consistency to the deck. Creature Swap gives you more outs. Really good in that case. I guess that's mostly what I wanted to talk about regarding the engine. I really like it again. I think you guys should look at your deck and think about, like, what would work better, because I think, really looking at it, if you have a deck where you can make more use out of going Striker Werewolf followed by a certain play as opposed to the Tour Guide play, then go for it. Like, I just don't think Tour Guide is, like, if you're thinking about, what to make in a deck, Tour Guide isn't, like, the safest play. Think about what Tech Genius can do. It's a very good archetype. I think that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for my minor rambling. And in the comments below, I want to know what you think about Tech Genius and its splashability in the current meta. Tell me what you guys think. Because for me, I really like it. I'm really liking it in Tech Genius Agents, and who knows? Maybe my interest in it will cause me to make another deck out of it. Who knows? But that is all. Peace out, everybody.